Hey guys, it's Gladys. Today on Work With Me, we'll be going over a project that we didn't do wet utilities for. Not the survey, not the landscape design, not the grading, nothing but the structural facility drawings. The purpose of these types of drawings are to show the plan view and a cross-sectional view of only the electrical conduit for the purposes of construction for the electrical utility company. Within this type of drawing, you must also highlight and show all the other utilities that will be crossing or within the vicinity of this conduit on its way to its final destination as far as utility company. The termination box. So for this project, we had to go back and forth with the electrical company and the owner for the ideal location of the electrical conduit to serve the building. Unfortunately, we got this project during construction, and a lot of new buildings will go through the entire approval process and then will be missing utilities. So this is because the owner wants to get the approval so that they aren't charged compounded interest from their bank. They often rush through forgetting or just not knowing this is missed. Also, often the permitting agency may not flag this as being required. That's enough of the spoilers. Let's engineer something. This project, the engineer record proposed for the wet utilities to be coming in from the north of the building. The water department requires a minimum spacing of 3 feet horizontal between water and sewer line. This is what was approved by the agency. So our first plan to come in at the south into the electric room because the owner had proposed the electric meters inside the building. In total, we are only allowed a 180-degree bend to the termination box, which is why you notice a 30+ degree bends, small bends. This was approved in February 2025. Then in April 2025, the owner let me know that the contractor decided to install all the utility lines within a 3-foot trench at the south of the site near the door. Also, you notice in the picture that the utility comes in at the building at a slant. All utility companies require the utility lines to at least cross the property line perpendicular to the main, with the cleanouts or valves at the property line. This makes them easier to find and a trench for afterwards. Also, I said that fast. Well, you caught that. Each utility line is supposed to come into the building with a 3 feet of horizontal separation. We only have 6 inches of separation on this project. If that. The owner said that the wet utility company inspector accepted it, even though we visited the site in August and the trench was still open. So we moved forward with the redesign into the building from the north. Also, you can see in the plan from the second approval, we are coming into the building and still going to the electric room at the rear of the site. Then in May 2025, the owners let us know that they instead want to have the electric meters be outside on a freestand. I let the owner know that the Public Space Agency does not allow freestanding electrical meters and even sent him literature stating this wasn't allowed. However, he was told otherwise by his permit expediter. The expediter told him that it would be okay since it was on a retaining wall. I'm not sure the expediter understood what freestanding meant, so he proceeded. This was the third approval we received from the electrical company. Then, in the beginning of August 2025, he contacted me again and let me know that Public Space didn't allow for them to construct the freestanding meters. And because they already did a lot of construction within the building, trenching through the building to the rear to the meter room was no longer a feasible option. He asked me why the utility company would approve it if Public Space doesn't allow it. I told him it's because they don't properly communicate with each other. And it's our job as civil engineers to ensure compliance between each agency within the plans. He apologized for not listening, even though I didn't need it because I could tell he was stressed. He was simply listening to an answer that sounded more affordable. Now we're at the end of August, and one of the engineers at the electrical company asked if this was possible. While writing my script, I realized it wouldn't work either because the electrical utility company requires 3 feet of cover, and the water requires 4 feet of cover, and it was installed with 4 feet of cover. These require a vertical separation of at least 1 feet. This is what I was told, even though I think it's a little bit more. It actually is 1 feet. It's 12 inches. And the electrical conduit being 1.2 feet itself, this would not be possible. So then again, while staring at the plans at the airport, I realized that the lot is next to an alley. I called the owner and asked him why this isn't an option, and it seemed as if the reason is the electrical company didn't think of it either. We proposed a design and this was approved. Like, for real this time. The wet utilities may be an issue, but electric won't. In a lot of Sera Engineers projects, we ask all the questions to make sure when you think your project will be complete, it really is. We even provide within our proposals a list of all the required items and the optional to get your project approved. and we inform you of all the contingent service that will be required or may be required for your project. So for your next engineering project, don't nickel and dime too much, because like it's costing him sleep and hundreds of thousands while he's at a standstill for utilities. Choose an engineering company where we write scripts going through the project to figure a way forward. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, seriously, what are your thoughts on this in any field? Let me know if I properly explained it, if I should be tougher, so maybe he would have taken in what I said sooner. See you guys next time. Bye.